Some of you have been feeling lost, and you have been asking the universe, or your inner self, or your higher self, for guidance, for help, for support, and you've been wondering, like, is it truly meant for me? Is this truly meant for me? What I'm going through right now, is this truly meant for me? Or are all these ideas just some nonsense and I'm not really sure what I'm doing? I want to remind you with this message today that your inner power or your higher self hasn't given up on you. It hasn't given up on your dreams, that your time is coming, and so are your blessings. And everything will divinely unfold. Things will work out, and it's the part of you that knows that this is true. I'm speaking to the part of you that knows that this is true. But there's the part of you that is doubter, right? The fearful part of you that is attached to time and is attached to the worst case scenario. I want to speak to this part of you right now. What you're thinking about is not real. What you're thinking about is not real. What's real is what you're feeling when you know that it will work out. When you know that your time is coming. And it's truly not about waiting it. It's about focusing on the work that is being presented to you. This is a reminder to center yourself right at this moment in feelings of love, in feelings of peace, in feelings of appreciation, and focus upon your path. Because there is something you know you have to do. Maybe you're in a phase where you're researching the market, or maybe you're in a phase where you've just started working on something new. Maybe you've changed a job, or you're about to change your job, and you're just researching the new ground, and you're feeling lost a little bit and not really sure like how things will unfold. You know, you don't need to know. Allow the mystical to happen. Allow the mysterious events to show up unexpectedly. Center yourself, because you don't need to know how things will work out. Choose you and let others be. Refocus on yourself. Trust, have faith, and also detach from the need to know, detach from the need to control things out of fear, because fear is truly blinding you. Deep inside you feel this part of you that knows, right? And this is the real you, the one you call I am. And just more frequently tap into this part of you, because this is God within, right? This is your divinity. And divinity knows. And the part of our intuition is that usually things don't appear or are not felt until the time is perfectly right. Like sometimes you will wait until the last possible moment to receive the money, and then money will appear. And sometimes you will think like the universe has left you alone until the last possible moment when suddenly a breakthrough happens and you suddenly realize everything actually unfolded exactly as it needed. It taught you once again that you are never alone. So there is a flow to everything, right? And at the times when you're waiting that your life would change, actually refocus back on what you are supposed to do in that certain specific moment. I always share with you the power I've discovered through art. I'm an artist and I'm sharing paintings with you. And back at the beginning when I started this journey, I had many struggles with finances, and many times I found myself worrying when, a breakthrough will happen. Will I be able to pay bills? And it was just, the beginning for me, for everything. I had that dream, that vision, and I was working very, very hard every single day on producing art, on making content, on updating store, putting out, paintings on the store, updating everything, taking care of everything, studying options. I was doing everything. I knew that I'm doing my best. And I haven't experienced much breakthroughs. So I thought, well, all this positive thinking and visualization is just not working. Until one day when it was like the last possible moment something could happen. Someone, like unexpected person, contacted me out of nowhere. I don't even know where that person found me, and asked me, can I buy this painting of yours? And the price of that painting was exactly the price of the bill I needed to pay. And that was one synchronicity that happened to me at the beginning. And then I've started noticing the pattern, why all things happen just at the last possible moment. Until I've noticed that this is what I've made important, like paying bills was important to me back at that time. So I've started giving a sign to the universe, like, look, I deserve more. Like, I deserve more than just paying these bills. And I will do everything that I can to make it happen, but I need help, I need support, I need guidance. And, sometimes, very mysteriously, guidance comes. Teacher comes when the student is ready. So find the flow right now. Because the flow that I found back at that time took me to where I am today. And I am living a life of abundance. And I am very grateful for how things turned out to be today, how they are today. But many times when I'm reflecting on how mysteriously sometimes things unfolded, I become quite vulnerable and humble, because I noticed that so many times I had no idea how something could work out. The point that most probably I want to give you right here is to don't give up. Don't give up, but rather find a flow that is taking you somewhere. It's time to take action. Know your worth. Know your power and know your purpose. So when it comes to your worth, another thing that I've learned was that, well, I need to appreciate what I'm doing. I need to value what I'm doing. And you should value what you're doing as well. Sure, you can't value something you don't put much time and effort to. But if you're someone who wants to build something big out of what you're doing because you know that you have incredible qualities that need to shine out in the world, that you want to bring something out, value yourself. Know that only you can do it the way you're doing it. Value yourself, put a real price to it, and know that if you expose yourself to right people, people will come to you and support you. People will pay you if they will see that you are valuing, that you are confident in what you're doing. Know that. And of course, certain people will reject you, but it's just a test. Like, are you willing to really do that? Are you truly believing into yourself? So stop holding yourself back, my friend. Take some risks. Be authentic. And know that this is your path. As long as you don't quit, you find a way, right? And to anyone who needed to hear this today, well, know that you have support. But sometimes this support actually waits you to see what will you do without it. Like, how far will you come without it? Because it's quite a funny thing to observe. Like, how long will you be forcing yourself until you surrender and ask for help? Because the help is so much more accessible than you think it is. But sometimes the challenge is that you don't listen to it. How many times you experience an incredible idea and then you suppress it? or a person comes to you with an intention to help and you ignore them. How many times it happens to you? To notice that you really need to step outside of the comfort to experience a breakthrough. And the universe is maybe pushing you to do something scary because on the other side of it, it's you winning at what you're starting right now. And that winning may be 2 years from now, maybe 3 years from now. I've noticed it took me 2 years since I've started to, so I've truly started experiencing breakthroughs. 2 years. And it's not really a lot. Like, so many people, when they start, it takes around 1, 2, or maybe 3 years that they start to see breakthroughs and growth with their business or whatever. And in 2 years, you can learn so much, right? If you dedicate like 1 hour in a day, or maybe half an hour in a day for learning, for expansion in that specific area, you will grow more than 95% of other people. And that will make you very, very much more valuable in any area. So the point is truly that you find your flow and you don't quit. To anyone who was feeling lost a little bit, some of you may be feeling like you have too many things to do and you don't know which one is the right one. And maybe you're doing too many things out of fear because you think that if you will not be doing all these things, that your life will not work out. But you also need to understand that there's always one main thing that drives you. And there could be the second thing that can help you with that first thing. But don't put too much weights onto your shoulders because you can't be good at everything. Sometimes you will need to ask for help. And then see how help finds you mysteriously once again. I'm experiencing this over and over again. When I feel like I need some support here, few days later support appears. And I want you to try this out, to ask the universe for guidance. To ask for guidance. Because you are not alone here. And then also be willing to be shaken when the truth appears and reminds you like you will need to do this and this and that. So some of you know the story of this YouTube channel, AttractPassion. I've actually started making videos at the beginning, at the complete beginning, and some of you are still here. So I love you, my friends. I truly love you because it's been a long journey. I've started actually making videos here from other great teachers that I consider them as my mentors, like Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, and some others. And then at some point I've started receiving so many copy strikes and, complaints from certain agencies. The only one that truly actually supported this was Dr. Joe Dispenza's team. We got in touch with them and they truly supported us. And we did a lot of promotion for them and it was incredible. But, because of these complaints, we needed to delete so many of very successful videos on this channel. And after that, I've asked myself, what is truly a sign here? What truly the universe is teaching me here? And I've noticed, maybe it's time for me to share my message. So many people were writing us emails back at that time, what's with this art? Who's doing it? What's the story behind it? And I've noticed, maybe it's my time to share the story with the art, with all of that. And that's when I've started making videos. And it was a scary push for me because firstly, my English is not my main language and I was never good at English. So I needed to learn English and I've decided to learn English by speaking English. And, then I've noticed I'm making so many mistakes, but I can actually study the comments and notice what kind of, comments are repeating, and that's how I can fix my English. And you know what? I've asked for guidance. I need some support for that. And some people contacted me like, I want to teach you English and you will teach me spirituality. And that's how all of this went on. And my English is still not perfect. It still has so many mistakes, but I'm still studying. Hey, I'm still studying. That's the journey, right? But support appears. Support appears when you show up and do the work. When you show up as someone who's willing to become who you're aiming to be. So I hope this message can give you this, food for the soul that will remind you that what you know is right. And that other part of you that is fearful and doubtful and scared, it's not real. This part of you is not real. It's conditioned. It's ego protecting your identity so your weaknesses would not be exposed. But hey, if you want to become who you always wanted to be, all your weaknesses need to be enlightened. And some of your weaknesses will actually become your greatest strength because they make you unique, right? And other weaknesses will get sharpened and they will help you to become who you always wanted to be. Like, for example, my English language. It's not perfect. I'm still making many mistakes, but I know every single year I'm getting better, right? And you've seen my growth. And, I've used my weakness as a vehicle that helps me to grow. And for some of you, it may be like the most scariest thing you can do, but maybe you will be pushed, like I was pushed. I needed to delete these videos and I've asked myself, like, what's the sign here? And I looked at it as like, it's my time. And sometimes, truly, for the breakthroughs to happen, you need to go through breakdowns. Not all the time, but sometimes it happens. And to those of you who are feeling lost, because maybe your life is breaking down a little bit, I want you to understand that while you are experiencing a breakdown, you're also going through a process of purification, where you get to decide, like you need to decide what parts of your life you don't want to carry on into the future anymore. And you will notice those are certain people, those are certain beliefs, those are certain stories you've been telling to yourself, those are certain emotions you don't want to carry into the future. You want to heal them, you want to ascend them or transcend them, whatever you will find helpful for you, but you don't want to carry them into the future because you know that they attach you to certain destructive patterns. And when you decide to do the work that will help you to detach from that, to let go, to heal, to ascend, well, that's when you give birth to breakthroughs. But then these breakthroughs may take time. Each of us is walking a unique timeline, which means each of us is experiencing manifestations in our own unique way, in our own unique time. So the greatest thing you can do, and I'm speaking from my heart right now, the greatest thing you can do is to stop comparing your life with someone else, because each of us is truly walking on our own timeline and things are just happening differently to all of us, and you never see the background of what other people are going through, so they experience what you see on the surface. You don't see what's happening behind everything. So focus on you, focus on your path, and do your thing. Do your thing, and believe that that highest ideal that you want to experience as a reality already exists. It already exists within your heart as a desire. And desire is this drive for evolution. Don't look at it as something bad. If you want it, you deserve it. And when you know that you deserve it, you will do whatever you can to make it happen. Because at the end, you will maybe notice it was truly never about a desire, but becoming the person that made that desire possible. And it's truly the character that most probably you are craving the most, that needs to be born out of who you are today. And it's you that can give birth to it. So my friend, I hope you found great value in today's message. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Thanks to everyone for choosing to support my art on AttractPassion.com. You can find some of my original paintings. Most of them are for now not for sale, but some of them are. And you can find the prints of all of my art, high quality prints on canvas in different sizes. Go there and check it out if any of it resonates with you. Each painting has a unique story to it, a unique philosophy. You can read it in a description, and the one that may inspire you may also be the one that you need the most. So check it out. And also thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content and guidance. Thank you so much for your support. Once again, I love you all. I appreciate you, and I see you. I'm reading comments every single day. They help me to grow, and I hope this work can help you to grow. And that's how we both win. So my friends, till next time, one love.